Turn.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Queers and Soaps. I'm Angel, and this is my co-host, Eric.
Hi, guys.
So we're watching As the World Turns from July to early August of 1987, and roll the credits. A lot of exciting stuff happened.
There was storyline progression.
There was progression, yeah, a lot of exciting storyline progression, yeah.
So I don't know if you read the comments on that one, but I saw that the Iran Contra hearings were airing during that time. So yeah, so we're not missing as many episodes as I thought.
Okay,
and
then
we're both not.
Yeah, because
So
Dan Regent, who's the announcer. If you watched As the World Turned, then you know who look, shout out to Novell. He has a great interview with Dan Regent. I watched it a while ago. It holds up really good. I love it. But he mentioned in the end of one of the episodes that they won't be airing the next day. And I was like, oh, I wonder why. And that answered my question. So
I read in the comments and I looked it up when the Iran Contra hearings were, and they aired from May 5th to August 6th of 1987. So that's why these episodes kind of go together, because we're not really missing a ton. We are missing some, but not as many as we thought. Because it would have been a total of 17 episodes that I counted. But with those hearings, that didn't affect it too much. So that's good for us. Back then, it wasn't good. Like, if I was watching in the summer, I would not have been happy.
You know what?
But
you said May 5th, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if that pushed back May sweeps. Because I see Willie's reveal being a May sweeps thing. But they probably had to push it all the way back to the end of June to coincide with the Iran Contra hearings.
Right.
So that would make a lot of sense.
And I don't know. I'm sure the hearings were different times, so maybe they put it sporadically, random. Mm-hmm. But that's why most of our stuff goes together. The only stuff that we have a hard time figuring out is the Duncan Castle stuff, which I did read up on my book, and it doesn't look like we're missing a ton with that. It's basically the diamonds are coming into the castle. Duncan told Shannon that his family has a history of pirates, and that this is what I read, and that there's just random gems that get delivered to the castle. I would hope that she doesn't believe that, but that's all I really read up. I didn't want to read too much because I'm afraid, because these are all together, that I'm afraid that it will come up. They do mention the Falcon, as we see again. So I'm guessing that stuff's coming up, and maybe they wanted to lay low on that storyline because of the Iran Contra. Maybe they're just changed it around a little bit to hold off.
Yeah, and I also wonder how much of that is Anthony Herrera not being around for whatever unknown. He could have been on Loving. He could have been on leave for something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess they were also recasting Emily at the same time. So. And
I wonder if the hearings aired on every network. I wonder if it affected all the shows, or if it was just CBS. I don't know.
I'm thinking they aired on all the networks.
Because remember, there wasn't that much cable back then. Yeah, there wasn't much cable back then. So it was
no, but CNN was a thing back then. I think it started in '84. Still around.
Right. So we get in July 6th. We have that lady that found Craig.
Mm-hmm.
And she believes, it seems like she believes the gods brought him to her.
My goodness.
Because she lost her son at sea.
Okay, that's sad. I didn't even mean to laugh at that, but that's sad. But the god,
but it is funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good way of thinking, because he does belong to other people. He does have a family and friends somewhere in Oakdale, even though they're on this random island in Greece or somewhere. I don't think they ever mentioned the island's
Like
name.
a private,
They're
it's like a private island that not a
yeah.
lot of tourists goes to. At least that's what they said in the last string of episodes.
They love islands on As the World Turns.
They love private islands, specifically private islands. On soaps, remember Cast Iron Island? That's a private island.
Right. So we have Holden threatening that dude that saw Lily at the diner. So it almost feels like this storyline is like trying diners throughout the US. Like it's almost,
it's like Catch Me If You Can, but with diners.
Right.
If you know As the World Turns fans.
Or Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Where in the world is what Catch Me If You Can was.
Yeah.
Or was it Catch Us If You Can? I think it was Catch Me. It was either Catch Me If You Can or Catch Us If You Can. Because it was, well, spoiler alert, 20 years ahead. It was Lucy, Aaron, and Allison who all, like, for whatever reason, they were running from the law, and they went to different college campuses throughout, like, I think it was like the summer of, like, I want to say 2005, I think.
That's funny. So I guess it's a thing in the summer. They like to run around.
Yeah. And
but
Matt Locker, I'm sorry, Matt Locker. Wow, why am I calling him Matt Locker? Alan Locker posted. he does have pictures of from that time when they were going from campus to campus. They didn't go to anywhere in Pennsylvania. Funny. I don't think so. Which would have been great because I would have been like, oh, let me go to Temple.
They actually went to real campuses? That's funny.
They were the real campuses, yep. But you would think a New York show they should have at least made a stop at like a campus in Philadelphia or something.
For sure.
But I guess it makes sense because the show takes place in the Midwest, so we'll give them that leadway.
Yeah. Meg wants her family to like Tonio, even though like Tonio is still giving her a hard time about things.
Yeah.
Franny gets back to town. I don't know where she was. Maybe London.
She was somewhere. I forgot where she went.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, I forgot where I was gonna say Cambridge, but that was Dusty.
Well, that's what I feel like. The episodes we're missing is when people like either leave or come, so we don't know where they were.
Yeah. They didn't mention where Franny was going. Like she was doing something that had to do with her major, probably a conference. I think I forgot what it was.
Probably. Casey apologizes to Taylor for being a dick to her, even though she's a dick too. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Now, don't you see like Billie Eilish in her ever since we found out? Like, I feel like she looks like her mom. I'm like, she looks dead on like her mom. Earl gets home. Lisa questions him. Duncan comes in. Shannon's still bugging Taylor about her apartment design. The storyline that will never end. She's been designing this apartment since March.
There was an end. There was a light at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel for that.
I know. Finally, I was like, oh, really? They're done now? It took 8 months. So Shannon must be distracted by Duncan and his castle bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Lila sees Casey putting on Taylor's tan lotion, suntan lotion. Poor Lila. I hate this. I was so mad at this storyline. Holden updates Iva on Lily. Lila is like kind of nasty to Casey because she saw that and she's just feeling down on herself and she's worried about Craig. She's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she's got a lot going on.
Tonio brings home papers for Meg to sign. Do you know what the papers were? Was it for...
Is it a prenup or is it the 50% that he mentions?
I think it's the 50% that he mentions.
Yeah.
Because she's like, don't you trust me or whatever? We should trust each other or whatever. I guess neither of them do.
Well, it can't be a prenup because they got married. So it's probably the 50%.
Yeah. And I feel like he doesn't have much right now, but maybe he does. I guess he's the richer out of the two.
Yeah.
I put Holden's in his car with a fake backdrop. That was funny.
I like the. Oh my gosh, this goes also for later on when we see Lily in the car. Like, I love the green car.
What's funny is like I don't even think it's green screen because I don't think they had that really back then, especially for soaps because it was like an expensive thing to use. But it's very if you watch like a lot of 40s and 50s movies, like it's very much that kind of backdrop, which is really funny. It's like
Yeah,
they're just driving in a fake car and like you just see that backdrop the whole way.
the backdrop, like
Or
I
like
even
it's like a
saw like a
movie screen.
bridge. Like I was like, what are they doing? Having got Interstate 95 on this thing.
I
It
know.
reminds me of and As World Turns is pulling the same thing, kind of. I remember when Carrie on Days of Our Lives was singing Crush by Jennifer Page, and it was like a
Right.
green screen. She was driving in the car with Mike, and well, Mike was driving the car, and she was
Yes.
just singing Crush like really badly, and then but it was a green screen. It was just so funny.
I was a Mike Carey fan.
Oh, me too. But
Um,
and then yeah, and then they can afford to use. Oh God, they can afford to use like real songs on the show too.
yes, I know. That's why I have a big problem with that now. They have terrible songs on these
They
soaps now.
do.
Ugh. And I hate when it's like their song, like it's like their wedding song now, and you're like, nobody knows this song. Nobody likes this song. Can't you pay like $5 for another song? I don't know
Or
how
if
it
it's
works
like,
with the rights, but
or if it's like the actor who can sing sings an original
right.
or something, which that I don't mind as much.
Nadia Bjorlin we know can sing. Like, why can't she sing some
Yeah,
songs?
because I think later, I think that song, Jack and Carly's song, spoiler alert again, 20 years ahead, um, or 10 years ahead in this case,
Right.
about more like 15. When Jack and Carly get married in Montana, that I think Michael Park sung that song that their wedding song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I like when they do that too. Um, my last note for that is Sierra tells Franny that she still feels that Craig is okay. And we all know that he is, but
We all know.
she really
Yeah.
doesn't.
Sierra was right. She got that love thing going on between her and Craig, so of course she's gonna have psychic powers.
Yeah, right. And then we have this weird episode that's not date titled, but it kind of goes with everything we're watching. But it's
Yeah.
weird because I feel like some of it interacts with other. It's really strange how these episodes are.
Yeah.
Um, we have Shannon and that lady. I forget her name because it's been a while
Harriet?
since I've seen her.
Is it Harriet?
The older lady. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
Harriet. Thank
Harriet,
you.
yeah.
She found that little box with the falcon,
Oh, this again.
and somebody must be like watching her because somebody like asked for that box back. I know that's what I mean. Like we get a little tidbit of the storyline and then it's like gone again. Like what is going on? It's like driving me nuts.
I think it was this
I want.
episode where I looked in the comments because I was wondering when Scott Holmes premieres his Tom, so that's why I was looking in the comments. I was like, I remember somebody in the comments mentioned it. But
He
somebody
coming.
says, does anybody fast forward the castle storyline?
How dare they?
And I was like, oh, I was about to.
I like the storyline. I just want to know more about it.
There's
But I
so
don't.
many holes, and I don't know why I'm not interested. I think, but I'm not interested too much.
Yeah, I'm very interested. I'm very vested. I want to see more of this stuff. And I want to know who the damn Falcon is. Because I don't think it's Duncan and I don't think it's James. So who is it?
Yeah,
I think they're gonna throw us off. That's why I'm
watch
trying not
like
to
Earl
read
or
too much.
somebody.
I'm trying not to read too much in my book because I don't want it to be spoiled. If we do get to see
Yeah, I was gonna say watch it
eventually,
like Earl because
that's what I mean. It could
just
be.
because they
It
want
could
Lisa to
be.
marry somebody else
Yeah, right.
because she winds up getting a lot of last names. So
Yeah, like Erica and Vicky. Um, so yeah, they threatened to kill Duncan for this little box for some reason. Babs goes to the police with proof that James is back, some kind of key ring that she gave him, and they
well,
don't believe
doesn't he call
her.
her? Doesn't he call her
Um,
too? Or was that
I don't think he did yet. She didn't say
okay?
that he did at this point, but I think he does. Well, somebody's crank calling people.
Yeah,
That's
he's prank calling
probably him.
people.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. Lucinda worries about Lily, of course. Lily finds a cave to hang out in.
Secret cave.
And thank God she couldn't start a fire because I didn't even think of that either. Because like if she would have started a fire, she would have smoked herself out.
Hmm.
As this random Indian man, Keith, comes along,
Hey,
and
we have to use correct terms, even, or we have to pretty much establish something real quick. The term Indian, in use in 1987 was correct, but in 2024 it's considered incorrect. It is either Native American or Indigenous North. So
well, he even said Indian
we're gonna
man,
give
so
us
that's why.
because we're talking about 1987 content. We're gonna use Indian, but just know that when we mention Indian, we're not being offensive. It's just a term they
Right.
used in 1987.
He used it himself because he lives on a reservation that's
Yeah, it's
like
in the
nearby.
reservation. So yeah, but Indian is actually a persona non grata term because because of history.
And I don't know why they didn't want to just stay at this reservation because this mother was very endearing.
I
And she,
love this part of the storyline.
yeah, I didn't catch her name though. I don't know if
Oh my god, I didn't either. She was so
I don't
good.
think they said her name. It was just his mom, Keith's mom. But he talks her into going with him or whatever because he seems like a good dude. Um, and then we go back to the police station. The cops don't do anything for Babs. They don't believe her. I guess that James is around, which is weird because he is
I don't know why,
escaped somewhere.
especially the white cop I forgot his name, but I know Roy, who is the African American cop.
I know. I don't.
Yeah, but I forgot the
Yeah, I
name of
don't
the
know
white
that
cop.
cop either. I know.
Yeah,
I don't know his name either.
because I know it's Roy, it's Margot, and it's the other dude.
Right. A couple calls Duncan for a position that I guess he posted. He needed a couple to do
Mhm.
something, but didn't he ever say what the position is? He's
I
just
think it's
like,
to take
oh,
over the guy who died. I forgot. I forgot that
castle
guy's name.
watching.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I need somebody like now. So they like make
Yeah.
an interview for like 8 p.m. tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Doris
Good
attends
time to
goes
have an
to the
interview, but hey,
castle.
go off.
I guess Doris doesn't care if she dies or lives anymore because she
Like,
just
look,
goes to
I
the
don't care if
castle
I
and
die or
trusts
live.
Duncan. Yeah, like I don't get it. I wanted to look up Doris in my book and I forgot. But again, maybe she's the Falcon. She seems like she could be.
I
The
think we're
older
all the Falcon
couple,
at this point.
yeah, I'm the Falcon. The older couple is set up by James, we find out.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess he does seem to have like eyes and ears everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, Lily tells the dude and his mom her actual name because she was going by Monica. And the mom gives her good advice about like being with your family and stuff. And Lily's like, I don't have a family right now because she's all mad at them and doesn't trust any of them. Whatever. Dusty gets there. Um, Now, do you think Paul was seeing his dad this whole time? Because he's been acting weird, real suspicious and going to the movies by himself and shit.
I think he was.
You think
I
he's
personally
hanging
think he
with
was,
James?
especially should I point out to the viewers that we skipped an episode not even by accident, not even on purpose. It's on the bottom of the playlist we watch from June 10th. So
Yep.
so what happens in June, the Paul part that happens in June 10th is that Barbara basically tells Paul about her past with James. I don't know, I guess because he was a kid and didn't really understand the situation, when Danny Pintaro played him. So and then that's what makes him reveal that he's been talking with James on the phone. So I'm also wondering if, given that context that we watched on June 10th
Right.
of 87, is Paul still in contact with James, even though Barbara basically like grounded him and everything like that? Well, I guess wasn't really a grounding because like he was at the pool and everything. So
Right. Well, we do know that he is in contact because of the letters with the secret mailbox and all that shit. But that's what,
mhm.
like, 'cause remember when she found him, he was at the movies by himself, and I'm like, maybe he was with James because we know James is back in town in
Yeah,
these
because he was.
other
Yeah, because it wasn't
upcoming
like he
episodes.
was with. I think her name is Kathy,
Yeah, who's
the
Kathy? Is
girl at
that
the
the girl by
pool.
the pool?
Yeah, I think her name is
Okay.
Kathy.
Yeah, I think you're right because I read about Kathy in my book, and I don't remember seeing her that much.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember.
she's
I
in
don't
the
even know
book a
why I
lot
don't remember her because I did watch those episodes
because
before. So
yeah, but she just isn't, a big character. She's just like someone they're hanging out with. So I
yeah,
don't think she's really big. But in the book, if you read in it, it says a lot about Kathy in there, and I'm like, I don't even remember this girl being in this many episodes as much as she's written in this book. So I don't know. Maybe she's in a lot of the ones we missed. I don't know.
yeah,
Oh, so Dusty. Oh yeah, Dusty gets there, and then Babs finds out that Paul was at the movies, and we get Tom comes home at the end. That's all I have for that.
yay! Scott Holmes is here. He'll be Tom for the rest of the run.
Okay, so that he does look different to me. I guess because he's what
Yeah, I guess because he's
see.
younger. Because he
I
was younger.
watched in 2007, so honestly, 20 years I've been watching it before. That's why he looks different to me because I've seen him 20 years later after this
Yeah,
episode.
'cause
As I
he was
started in
showing them
February of
grays,
80,
towards
I,
the end there. So
I started in February of 2007 when Robin Matson guest starred.
yeah, but he was a baby then. So
Right, yeah, because I'm like, is that the guy? Because he don't look up like
that's
him.
him. Yep,
And
that's
they didn't do the announcement either with him for some
no.
reason.
No. So I think the rule of thumb on soaps, except if it's like Jennifer Bransford replacing, sorry, Laura Wright replacing Jennifer Bransford. After a certain amount of time, you don't do the announcement. But there was a case, like I said before, there was a case, the case with Jennifer Bransford leaving, and then a good like 3 months passed. But when Laura Wright came in, they did do the announcement for some reason, even though we knew that she was off screen. I don't know why
Hmm.
they did that, but I guess just because Laura Wright is different from Jennifer Bransford in appearance,
Yeah, I
that they
guess.
had to do the announcement.
And then in I think is it this episode? Oh yeah, this episode is where like when they have the main title and they must have won an Emmy
They
because did you
won
see
an Emmy. Ah,
they were like
I love
Emmy
when my
award
sis win
winning as
Emmys.
the world turns.
Emmy winning. Yes, you say
So
that with your whole chest.
I guess they won one for 1986 then.
Yeah, but it would have been for 86. Yeah.
Hmm.
I have to see those Emmy. I wonder if they're on YouTube. We have to see them. I want to see how it
What the
is.
Emmys?
Yeah, those the 87 with the 87 Emmys
Yeah,
for
there's a lot of Emmys on
Yeah,
YouTube.
there's a
I'm
lot
not
of
sure if that
yeah,
was
there's a lot.
specific.
But I've mostly see like the 90s ones because that was when I started watching the Emmys.
Yeah, I
So
watched some in the
and
90s
it was
too.
just like nostalgia to me. But I just
Yeah.
love seeing old Emmy clips. They're so good. I love seeing
I used to
shows
like
that deserve it
Soap
win.
Di Soap Digest Awards were always the best ones because
Oh, they were great.
they were the best. They did the
Uh,
couple and all that stuff. I like that stuff.
I was gonna say we probably should do an episode on the Emmys. Just kidding.
We can.
No, Tommy, we're not gonna do that.
We're gonna do it all, Tommy.
Okay, maybe
July
just
20,
one.
July 21st, 1987. So let's skip a handful of episodes, but it really
I
doesn't feel
wonder
like we
going
might
back
have
to
only
the
missed
Emmys,
one
going back to
episode.
their win real quick. I wonder if the Emmys aired on daytime at that point.
I
Yeah,
don't
because
know.
I remember there was a certain point where they aired in daytime, and then after a while they started airing in prime time.
I have no idea. All I know is that they're all times of the year. It could be January, it could be June, it could be December. Like they just don't know when to put it
Well,
on
in the case of
ever.
December, that was because of a writer's strike. So,
Yeah, but no, it's been like that. Like it's never been consistent. Like if you look in the past,
I remember a lot. I remember in the 90s it was
there's
in May.
there's some in February, there's some in May, there's some in November. Like they're just like random. So I don't know what pushes them back.
No, yeah, I don't know what
Um,
pushes them. I know in the case of like the recent, not the one that just happened, but like the one
right.
before, what it was the writer's strike. I wonder
Yeah, and I
if
know COVID pushed it back and like different
COVID
random
pushed it back
things.
too. I wonder, but I also wonder, there was a writer's strike in '88, so I wonder if that happens too with the
Yeah, so
Emmys.
maybe just with all the strikes and stuff, they just have
Yeah.
never been super consistent. Um, but we have Dusty and Lily are driving.
Again.
um, yeah, but I don't think they do anything. They're just talking about stuff.
I think
And
they're
he wants
talking
to like,
about. I think they're talking about if like Holden knows that she
yeah,
mentioned.
because
Are
Holden's
they
still not
related?
with them.
She mentions, are they? Oh my gosh, are me and Holden related? Would he have known that? And I
Right.
think that I remember that conversation specifically.
Yeah, and then Holden's at the reservation. So I don't know. He wasn't there with them though, right? They got out of there before
No,
he got
no.
there, I
So
think.
yeah, they weren't. Yeah, I don't think he was at the reservation. No, I don't think he was. No, no. He was somewhere else that we're gonna get to.
No, because the mom talks to him. The Indian mom.
Oh, right. The mom does talk to him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's at the reservation. So I'm thinking like he's like right on her tail, but Dusty's with her. I
Yeah.
still don't like Holden. I'm not a fan. So I don't know if I'll ever like him, but
Somebody said something. I think it's a little later that I thought of you when they said the thing.
I do not like him. And I don't know how people like him and Lily together as of now because I certainly do not.
I think because I was when I was watching in like 1998. They kind of mellowed both characters out. I mean, Lily is
Yeah.
always going to be an emotional character,
Right.
but they seem to have mellowed Holden out for the most part, just so that way they could stay together.
Yeah, because
So
he
that's
was
why
jealous
I
of
like
that
Holden
back
now.
then.
I like Holden, but I don't. I can see where you're coming from with Holden then.
Yeah, he's terrible. Um, I put Margot tells the weird lady about Craig because she has like this guy like that's I forget what his name is,
Yeah,
Alonzo or something. I forget
yeah.
whatever. It's something Greek. He tells it to like translate for her. And she shakes her head that she hasn't seen him.
Hmm.
And Margot kind of snaps a little bit as she has been doing, and Hal's there to calm her down, so that's nice. Babs tells Tom not to go to Greece, where Lisa's telling him to go to Greece. So
Hmm.
I guess there was an episode that we missed in between this one and the
Yeah, I'm
last.
thinking. Yeah,
We
I'm
didn't.
thinking that that's what's happening.
Yeah. Um, she tells the truth about Margot and Hal. And then we found out that Tom never actually slept with Barbara. He said that she made
Oh,
it look like that. I didn't know that. That was a
no.
fake out on Babs because she was a
Hmm.
bitch.
And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
Why did she do that? Do we know?
I don't know.
Like, did she not like Margot and wanted to piss her off? Like,
Oh,
I
she
don't
doesn't.
know.
Yeah, Babs and Margot do not like each other, so I'm guessing that that's the reason.
Okay. So she faked that she got really drunk with him, I guess, one night and it made it look like they slept together, and I guess that's why.
Yeah.
Bob tells Casey that Lila will need him and to be there, and Taylor says the same thing, which I thought was kind of nice because she actually mentioned like Margot kind of put her in her place in a way, and she's like, I don't
Hmm.
know, I feel kind of a certain way, but her actions in the upcoming episodes have me questioning her motives.
Yeah.
I still don't know. I still don't trust her because she seemed like legit about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Holden's at the reservation. The mom tells them to be patient with Lily. I put wise woman. Lily questions Dusty. He wants to call John, and she flips out. She's like, "No, you can't do that. Blah 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 blah. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want anybody to know where I'm at. My mom will find me.
Hmm.
Blah blah blah." Tom claims that his job and top secret stuff are what withheld him from talking to his own wife. And I put,
I wonder if
shady.
that'll come back to bite him.
I don't trust him. I feel like if he really wanted to talk to me, he would have found a way. Like he'd be like, listen, like,
Well,
or go back there and say something like 6 months.
well,
Sorry,
he
bitch.
did quit. So he was like, I think he got so tired of it that he quit. So I'm wondering if like what the reason why he said it is because it's going to come back and bite him in the butt later, like the job, like him
And it
quitting the
is.
job.
Oh, I think his relationship is what's biting him in the ass, and it should be
Well,
because
that too.
you should have found a way.
But I wonder if that and his job in DC is going. I mean,
he's a lawyer, right?
And also DC. So like, of course, it's going to be like some top secret shit because, okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but also, if he's working for something like the CIA, of course it's going to be. Of course, there's a lot of stuff going on with the CIA. So.
You need to. I've seen a lot of gas stations, and there's a lot of payphones back then in gas stations, and he could have found a payphone and called her at least one time. Now, if he says he tried to call her a couple times, now like then I'd be like, okay, but because she always is not home, she's always somewhere else. But he knows when to get her, you know. So Sabrina is doing something at the hospital. Is she working there now? I guess.
No, I wonder if she's doing something art related.
It looked like she was like measuring something in the window, and her and Bob were having lunch.
I think she's a mural. I think she's doing a mural, but I don't know why she would be measuring the window. I think they mentioned she was doing a mural.
Okay. Maybe she was just doing measurements of the wall or something. It looked like it was by the window. I don't know. And I guess there's a Colin in town that she had dated in England.
I've read up on basically the character of Sabrina.
Okay.
So she's been seeing this guy Colin kind of on-ish and off-ish.
But not on the show because we haven't seen him, right?
I don't know if he even comes on the show. I think he's just mentioned off screen.
Oh, that's weird.
And it's like a catalyst to like things that happen later.
Budget cuts.
Yeah.
They couldn't afford them. But yeah, apparently he was from London or whatever, and she don't like him, but he's around. Taylor says Margot. Oh yeah, telling her off got to her. She meets Tom, which she seems intrigued with Tom. And I'm like, Is she gonna try to get with Tom just to piss off Margot? Even though I don't think it'll piss off Margot because she's in love with Hal now, so I don't think it matters anymore.
I don't know. Does Taylor and Margot even like each other? I'm wondering if
Margot went off on her.
She did, yeah. She did, yeah.
That's why I think she's gonna trying to like get something in there to like get at Margot. But she's playing it real coy. Like she doesn't seem like she's going to, but I think she's going to. Or else, why would she be there?
Yeah.
John goes off on Tom because it's Margot's dad and he's very protective and all that jazz. Dusty makes a quick call to John without Lily knowing. Margot gets upset and Hal calms her. That's all I got for that. July 22nd. I have Josh Radov on. He talks to Meg. He's like, "Oh, I was just trying to be your friend," and blah blah blah. She don't want to hear it. She goes off. Iva tells him she will get him put away. Still the same shit. I get it, but it's getting old at the same time. Like we know. John tells Lucinda about Lily because he talked to Dusty, which Dusty told him not to do. But of course, John didn't want to hold it back. It's her mom. I don't know.
Mom, his wife. You know how to go.
Not her mom. It's her mom. And Josh overhears that. I don't know if that's going to mean anything because as of now, it doesn't seem to. Tom says that he's going to Athens, but Margot and the crew are heading home already. Margot, Betsy, and Hal are heading home. Lila gives up hope about Craig. Casey tries to console her, which I thought they were moving in a positive direction with them, but in the next episode, not so much.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Yeah. Well, yeah, it's because of her grief, of course.
So you read the comments. I don't know if you read these ones with the Ellen sympathizing with Iva. I didn't know the past of this. So apparently she had to give up her son Dan as a baby and ended up having a custody battle with David and Betty,
Mm-hmm.
whoever they are, because this was apparently in 1961. Somebody put like good use of history here because of Ellen sympathizing with Iva. And that's a great usage of that because it's
Yeah.
almost 30 years previous. So that's really cool that they did that.
Don't you love when history kind of when you can like repeat history in one storyline, and then like you take a character where it's happened to the same thing has happened to them in the past, and just like, wait, Betty, you said the one who fell up the steps.
Oh, I don't know. That's the person. That's what the person.
I think that's the character. That's the same character, the one who fell up the steps and died.
Oh,
yes. Because you know, Erna Phillips is like the pettiest person in soap history. She killed off a character by having them, as the world turns, by having them fall up the steps.
What year was that?
It would have been around that time. In the 1961? In like the 60s, 1960s.
Oh, damn.
Or 70s, yeah.
Brutal. I have to look that up.
You know, whenever Erna was writing the show, it was like, yeah, character fell up the steps. I think it was Betsy. I think it was Betty.
That's so funny.
Or Elizabeth, or one of them.
Well, then I guess it didn't matter for custody after that.
Yes, right?
Ellen tells Rod that Betsy is on her way home, and we find out that he got a job in construction, so I guess he's planning on staying in town. She also tells him that she knows about Lily, and she's a little uncomfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know exactly what they know. Do they know the whole thing? Because they don't show them telling the whole story, so I don't know. I'm guessing they know the whole
town pretty much knows some pieces of it, so I didn't know that Bob and Kim didn't know.
Right, like I don't know who knows.
They knew.
Right.
I'm more surprised when people didn't know about it, because the way a lot of people knew about Lily's parentage.
Well, remember, a lot of people knew certain things. They didn't know the whole story. I don't know. And Emily,
like a lot of people, all they knew was like Lily wasn't Lucinda's. That was it. So.
Right. Emily gets to Betsy's and asks Rod for help because Betsy's not there.
Emily, played by who? Melanie Smith.
There you go.
Yeah. Just keep watching. You'll love her.
All right. August 5th. So this jumps a little bit ahead, right? We were at July 22nd. And again, it doesn't seem like we missed anything in these. Mm-hmm. Although we must have missed at least one, because Holden, Lily, and Dusty are working at some diner gas station type situation. I don't know exactly how that, but this is the least of like the story that I really don't care about. I really feel like it's just blah and it's going nowhere.
I feel like, see, that's the thing. I feel like if the story was Lily and Dusty, I would be more invested in it.
Well, it's the three of them.
But isn't Dusty back in Oakdale, or going back to Oakdale?
Oh, I thought he was at the diner. He's not?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the next episode. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I think he's at the diner with them. And then we have this new character, Lance Whitaker, who I'm not sure if he sticks around or not. But he seems to be interested in Lily of some sort. I don't know.
So that's the character who mentions why is she even interested in him? He's very possessive. But I thought of you.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's annoying. I feel the same way, Lance. I agree with Lance. Team Lance already.
I was like, that's exactly why Erica's like Holden.
Oh my gosh. He's written terrible. I wonder if he changes at all.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I know he's off.
When he changes.
I know he leaves the show. I know John Hensley leaves the show at some point, but I don't know when though. like in the late 80s.
Oh, good. Maybe he comes back rehabilitated.
Well, I kind of know what happened, like what he comes, who he comes back with, you know.
Right.
So,
so Babs finds out Emily is back, and she's worried that James is back. Margot, and which she was already worried about that anyway. So, but now I guess it's like, shit, it's real now because Emily's back. Margot and Hal see Tom at the station. See, we don't know. I don't know if this is their first time seeing him or if they saw him already and had it out. I'm not. They don't really talk about it.
oh
So I'm
well,
not sure.
it would have been the first time they saw him because they were in Greece when he came back, or they were returning from Greece when they came when.
Right, but that was like that was July 22nd. So I'm not sure. This is August 5th, so I'm not sure if there was like an episode that we missed where
Yeah,
they first saw each
and
other,
I'm
or
wondering
if
if
this is it.
and I'm wondering if Iran Contra, like we mentioned earlier, the hearings kind of made us, like
Right.
there was like a series of episodes that didn't air, and then we missed an episode from the playlist.
Right. So yeah, I'm guessing. I don't know if like I would have assumed they would have talked at least, but maybe they just avoid each other because they both know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they all know the situation. And I'm glad Barbara told Tom because he deserved to know, first of all. And he deserves to suffer a little bit for torturing Margot for 6 months. I mean, she almost snapped, basically, if it weren't for Hal. Remember she was having those crazy panics and shit?
Yeah, she was like
because of him.
Because of him, yeah. She was like very, very emotional and everything like that. She was very like.
And I wanted to be like, was your job worth it, mother? Go off on him. That's what I really want. Go off on him and slap him, and I want to, yeah. I don't care if your job's secret. You find a payphone, call me, and tell me then. Like you could have told me in all of those months some little tidbit. I'm sure they didn't keep you locked in a cabin, whatever.
Oh, what if
Team
the
payphones
are bugged?
Yeah, right.
Well, if that's the excuse he gives you, yeah. I'm Team Margot too.
I'm totally Team Margot. I want Tom to suffer. I love. Wait, is this coming up? Oh yeah, this is the part when Lisa tries to go off on Margot.
Yes.
OMG, dude, she shut her down not once, not twice, but 3 times. She's like, no, you listen, because that's how I would act with Tom though. I'd be like, listen, Lisa, this is between me and my husband. I'm gonna leave you out of it because I'm gonna snap. Like, but Lisa kept going at her.
Remember, Lisa is Tom's mom, so of course she's gonna be like.
No, I get it, but at the same time, I'd be like, I get this. You don't want me to snap on you, but when I see Tom, I'm gonna be snapping. Like, but yeah, Lisa tries going off. Oh, she tries to tell off Hal because like Hal, he didn't do anything. He was just there for Margot when she needed her husband, who wasn't there for her.
Right.
I'm getting heated. All right. So, and it's probably just because it is Hillary B. Smith, and I love this woman.
Oh, I love Hillary B. Smith too.
I'm gonna miss when she leaves.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much time we have left with her.
I think she goes in 89, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay, because I like Ellen Dolan too. I love Ellen Dolan because that was a Margot that I grew up with. So
honestly, like I fast forwarded her and Tom when I watched because I was only watching certain storylines. It did have to like I would fast forward them. I would fast forward Lily and Holden until Lily got recasted with Noelle Beck. Then I was kind of interested, and then they had Damien on and whatever. We're back in 87.
Yes.
So, yeah, Lisa tries to go off. Margot stops her. Babs goes to Paul. And she kind of is upset about James might be back. Paul doesn't seem to care what she says. He's just like, whatever, Mom. Josh, Rod asks Seth and Emma for help. They don't do anything. They send them packing basically. Franny gets there. She kind of tells them like, "Listen, buddy, it's been fun, but now that I know the whole story, I really shouldn't be between my family and you." You know, felt kind of bad for him because that was like
It's
his
like
only
let me,
friend.
yeah, it's like let me not play devil's advocate anymore. That's what Franny's basically saying.
Yeah, I felt a little bad.
Yeah.
Um, Casey ends up giving Taylor a lift home, or actually a lift to the what is it called? The Oakdale, where they
Memorial?
swim, yacht club. The yacht club. She wants to
Oh,
get
the
a
yacht
tan
club.
after
Okay.
work.
I thought
Yeah.
he was giving her a ride to work.
No, she was at work or whatever and wants to get a tan. Um, yeah, Antonio refers to Meg's and his marriage as a 50-50 partnership. He's treating it like a business deal, and she doesn't like that. And they're going to go to the yacht club too. I guess everybody's going. It's the
All right.
summer.
It's like going to Mona Lisa. It's the summer version of Mona Lisa.
Right. Emily gave an interview to I think Lisa's paper,
Yeah.
and we find out that Lucinda already put out a story that was probably bullshit because she didn't interview anybody for it. But I guess that's where the fighting between them two, is. Betsy gets a crank call when she gets home already. Franny tells Rod she can't be in the middle anymore, which I did say. Emily says Paul is oh yeah, that James is obsessed with Paul, like having Paul
Mhm.
with him. So it appears that he is going to try to either kidnap him or something, but we don't really
Mhm.
know. Margot and Hale go to Betsy's. Babs runs off. Hale goes after her, and Babs decides she's going to fight for him, which I was surprised at. I'm like, really? Would you really want someone that's like really into another person? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Like. Mm.
And I get it because he does, he was really gentle with her and like he's a good dude and he probably loves everybody. Whatever. He's one of those guys.
I wonder
Um,
also how much of that, going back to that June 10th episode that we watched, and we're not really going to talk about because it fills in the gaps.
right.
I wonder how much of that is that Paul likes, not James. Paul likes Hal a lot.
Oh,
He
really?
creates stability with like the family,
Uh,
where that James doesn't.
gotcha. So maybe that helps too, like
Yeah, because
with Babs wanting to be with him.
like if you have a kid in the factor, that makes it different. That does make a difference sometimes.
And we have Taylor talks to Tom at the yacht club. This is what makes me think she's trying to get an in with Tom, like to
Hmm.
mess with Margot. Even though, like, again, if I were Margot, I really wouldn't care. I'd be like, move on with your life, buddy. Um, Lila leaves Casey a note that she's going out of town and to not be there basically when she gets back and whatever. Live your life, move on. Ew.
Yeah, Margot's there
Uh,
with her. Well, okay, that was a spoiler for the next episode, but
yeah, but they just kind of talk through the episode. I feel like nothing really important was. It's kind of like they're just talking about the storylines that we don't. That's probably what they were doing for the hearings, being up, kind of catching people up with stories.
yeah, that makes sense.
Because I was gonna write it, but I'm like, they're just talking about everything that happened in their storylines. Margot tells Tom that they should file for a divorce. Now, in the next episode, that's not even they're not even on. Or
Who?
Tom is. Tom's on, but like they're not. So I don't know if this episode matches up with the fifth. Has Taylor mentions to Casey that Shannon is finishing her apartment.
Mm-hmm.
um,
It's finished. It's over. We've gotten to the light at the end of the tunnel.
right. And this is what makes me wonder if this episode has nothing to do with the previous because James is back and like tormenting Lucinda already. So I'm like, he
Mm-hmm.
must have came back at the end of something.
By the way, before I
Um,
forget, viewers, if you know why Anthony Herrera was on a hiatus on the show in '87, can you put it in the comments? Because we really appreciate it. Because I can't talk today.
maybe he was on vacation.
Yeah,
Maybe
because well, no,
filming a
I'm
movie.
trying to figure out when he was on Loving, because I know he was on Loving in the late '80s, like not late, like '89, but I know he was on Loving in the mid '80s. But I also happy, oh my gosh, 41st birthday, Loving. Whatever, 1983. Yeah, 41st birthday, I think.
Wow. Yeah, June, I think, right?
It was,
I think it
was a few days ago though.
That was for you, Loving. I know, I want to cover Loving, but there's not that much from the 80s.
There's not that many episodes, except for I mean, somebody had
the
Loving
first
Murders
3
up there, but I don't think they're up there anymore.
We'll find some Loving.
Yeah, we'll find something.
The Falcon is still out there, that is mentioned. That's what James says. Craig is still alive, and he wants $250,000 from Lucinda in 4 installments because he knows that she can't get it all at the same time, which I thought was kind of nice of him.
Yeah, it's the nicest thing he's ever done.
Right? And he kind of like
he invented Klarna.
He kind of like makes fun of her for marrying John and all this stuff and whatever. We have this Corinne lady calls.
Who's Monica's mom?
Okay, that's Monica's mom. Now, see, this is the one that they said was involved with James, or they thought that she was involved with James. Like in the last couple, well, no, 5 episodes ago, whatever.
Yeah.
We find out, I guess, as a side storyline that we're not going to see, that Jessica is fighting to keep Craig's company going. Lila and Margot.
That probably means that Tamara Tooney is probably doing something else because she's always booked and busy.
Yeah. Or they just didn't want to write that storyline.
They wouldn't want to write that story, yeah.
But to just like,
I just like to think that she's a recurring character who is always booked and busy. Then that gives her that freedom, and I am not angry about that.
Yeah, I love her. Taylor is having an apartment is done party, which is a homecoming party, basically. Which I'm like, she doesn't even know anybody in this town. But
except
sure,
for Casey.
Why not? Except for Casey. Earl is there, I guess because she was involved with Lisa. So Earl calls Tom to come to Taylor's. Hence why we didn't see the Tom and Margot. You know what happened with that.
And then Tom invites Casey.
Invites Casey because Casey's right there. He's like, "Weren't you supposed to go to this party?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" John and Lucinda talk. She kind of has to keep the secret of James being back, obviously. I forgot if we mentioned that he knows that Craig's alive and he has him in custody supposedly, and that he'll kill him if she talks. I think I forgot to mention. Duncan and Doris are at the party. How did they know Taylor? I don't know, but I guess because they know Shannon, so she must have invited them.
Oh yeah, it's a Shannon thing.
And he basically tells Doris that he can't tell Shannon anything because she'll be in danger. I don't get it. I'm like, well, isn't Doris in danger? I guess you don't care. Like you said,
yeah.
I don't get this story. Lucinda is forced to keep secrets that Craig is alive from everybody, even Sierra. She can't tell anybody. Holden's jealous again of Lance talking to Lily. And Corinne comes to James's, wherever he's staying. Apartment, house, cave.
Condominium, I
don't know. So then it's official that Corinne is involved with James.
Good.
Which they kind of knew that anyway.
At least Barbara is right.
Right. So I am curious to know where these are going. I know we're missing a ton of random episodes, and I know the hearings are over, so there's no excuse.
Yeah.
These people should have kept recording back in 1987 so we could see it currently.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't explain the February missing episodes either.
Right, the month
does,
of
but then
February.
It also doesn't.
Yeah, but they're missing the whole month of February, and we missed a lot.
Month.
Remember that was the Orient Express shit. I would have loved to have seen that stuff. That's all I got for this week.
All right. Thank you for watching As the World Turns with us, or listening to As the World Turns with us. As always, you can find us on the social, or watch, yeah. As always, you can find us on the socials at Queers and Soaps. Until next time, bye.
Bye, everyone.